Hello everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my musical theatre book tag. So I have been obsessed with musical theatre for such a long time, like the majority of my life. I've been in musicals for years, I've helped produce musicals for years, it's absolutely just one of my greatest loves. And so having found out there's actually quite a big musical theatre community within the book community, I thought I had to make a musical theatre book tag. Now there is a musical theatre book tag that already exists and that will be linked down below. However, I have not used any of the same musicals and I'm sort of picking out specific songs from musicals to base the questions off, so it is quite different. But yes, I'm super excited. I'm wearing a suitably sparkly top so that I feel very musical theatre, and yes, I just did jazz hands. And I'm so excited to get into this, and I hope if you do it, that would just be amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna get straight into it because I have quite a lot of questions. I'm now realising I've come up with questions and haven't come up with my answers, so I'm gonna go and have a think and then come back to you with my answers as we go along.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean, you forget yourself. You're like me, I'm never satisfied. Is that right? I've never been satisfied.
So the first prompt is from the song Satisfied from Hamilton, which is all about Angelica Schuyler and Hamilton and how they will never feel satisfied with their lives. So the prompt for this is, what is a book that had an unsatisfying ending or you feel needs a sequel? For this, I am choosing Wilder Girls by Rory Powers. I loved this book, it was really interesting and I loved it the whole way through, and then I turned a page and the book was done. I fully thought there would be at least another 50 pages to this book and I really wish there had been. Having read reviews, I do understand the focus of this book was how people deal with it, not necessarily the plot. But either way, I really wanted more, so slightly disappointed, and I would love to read a sequel, honestly, about what does happen and see where the plot continues. For people that don't know, this follows a group of girls at a boarding school on a remote island, and basically a plague has taken over, and so they are basically in quarantine and aren't allowed to leave this island, aren't allowed to leave their school, and it's all very eerie and they don't know what's happening outside and some nefarious things are going on. The next prompt is Everybody Talks About Jamie from Everybody Talks About Jamie, a highly underrated musical, so go and listen to it if you haven't, it's brilliant, you'll love it. And this is all about a boy who everyone is talking about because he started doing drag and it causes a huge amount of hype in his school. So the prompt is, what is a book you want to read solely because of the hype surrounding it? And for me, this is A Court of Mist and Fury. I read ACOTAR, I didn't love it, but the hype makes me want to continue. That is the only thing that makes me want to continue. If I hadn't heard hype and hadn't heard good things about this, I wouldn't have continued the series. It didn't interest me enough. But I've heard such good things, and so I really want to continue it, so yeah, that's my answer for this one. This next prompt is Journey to the Past from Anastasia, which is one of my favourite musicals and was actually one of my favourite movies when I was a kid, and is all about a girl discovering her past. So the prompt for this is name a book which features either flashbacks or really in-depth backstories. And for this, I'm going to choose The 10,000 Doors of January, but I'm not going to go into detail of why I've chosen this. If you've read it, you will know why, but just to give a bit of context without spoiling it, this book, a huge amount of the backstory and the exposition is told through other texts and backstories. And I'm not going to say more than that because it will spoil this book, and trust me, you don't want to know what I'm talking about until you've read it. But yeah, this absolutely fits the prompt.
Now I'm just Michael in the bathroom, Michael in the bathroom at a party. Forget how long it's been, I'm just Michael in the bathroom, Michael in the bathroom at a party. No, you can't come in. I'm waiting it out till it's time to leave. And picking at grout as I softly grieve. I'm just Michael, who you don't know. Michael flying solo. Michael in the bathroom by himself.
So this next prompt is based off the song Michael in the Bathroom from the musical Be More Chill, and it's all about this boy who is at a big party and has basically been abandoned by his friends, so he's hiding in a bathroom. So the prompt is, if you were to escape a party by hiding in the bathroom, what book would you want to have with you? And for me, that's The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is one of my favourite books of all time, and so it's a really comforting read, but also it's just absolutely a book you can lose yourself in. The writing is lyrical, the story is beautiful. So I feel like it'd be the perfect distraction book to pass a lot of time, get completely engrossed, and forget that you're trying to hide from an awful party.
Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. But just for you tonight, we're divorced, beheaded, live. Welcome to the show, to the history mix. Switching up the flow as we add the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be six wives.
So this next prompt is based off the song Ex-Wives from the musical Six, and that musical is a brilliant retelling sort of twist of the story of the six wives of Henry VIII. And so the prompt is choose a book which is either a retelling or a twist on a really well-known story. So for this, I'm choosing Verona Comics by Jennifer Dugan. This is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, quite evident from Verona being in the title. So this follows, unsurprisingly, star-crossed lovers. It's a boy and a girl who are associated with rival comic book stores and basically end up falling for each other, but it's a beautiful, beautiful LGBT book, as both of the main characters are bisexual, and it's so interesting because it doesn't necessarily end with the happy ending, just like Romeo and Juliet, but it does have more hope than that, I'll give you that.
Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie has new dreams he's building upon. And I'm still hurting.
So this prompt is from another criminally underrated musical, and the song is Still Hurting from the last 5 years. And the prompt is, what book really hurt you and has stuck with you ever since? And for me, I'm going with My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is a phenomenal book and it's absolutely harrowing to read, but it's definitely worth reading if it's something that you can cope with and it would not be triggering for you. All about a 15-year-old girl who basically has a relationship with her much, much older teacher and for years believes she was in control and that it was consensual. And you're also following her when she's older, realising that maybe she needs to reevaluate what happened and that it wasn't what she thought. And so it's her sort of dealing with that. And I read this earlier this year and it's absolutely stuck with me ever since I read it.
My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes depart, and watching them fly, something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be a pilot. But I was too young and too short, and there were no female captains. And my dad said, be patient. He said, just see what happens. But I took my first class and came down from the sky and told my father I'd fly for the rest of my life.
So the next prompt is based off the song Me in the Sky from the musical Come From Away, and this song is all about a woman sort of attaining her dream job. And so the prompt is, pick a book that features your dream job, be it real or fantastical. And for this, I'm gonna go with something which I wouldn't even necessarily say was my dream job, but would be amazing, so we're going with it, which is what basically they're training to do in Skyward, which is becoming spaceship fighter pilots. I wouldn't necessarily want to do the fighter pilot bit, but honestly, these spaceships look amazing and sound amazing, and I kind of want to fly one in space, because how freaking cool would that be? But only if it's M-Bot, because M-Bot's really cool and I want to fly M-Bot, so I would probably go with this for this prompt.
Let me go far away, somewhere they will never find me, and tomorrow will remind me of today. And the city's finally sleeping, and the moon looks cold and gray. I get on a train that's bound for Santa Fe.
This prompt is based off the song Santa Fe from Newsies, which is all about dreaming of being in a different place. So the prompt is, what is a fictional place you would absolutely love to visit? And for me, that is Weep from Strange the Dreamer, but Weep at the end of the duology / before everything went wrong there. So it's just this beautiful, amazing place, and I think it's partially due to Laini Taylor's writing, but it just sounds beautiful and like absolutely the dream place to be, and so I would absolutely love to join Laszlo Strange in longing to live in Weep.
Oh God, what if when he sees me, I like him and he knows it? What if he opens the door? I can't close it. What happens then? The way he holds me, my heart is set in motion. I'm not prepared for that. I'm scared, but I can't help it. Still, I can't help but hope it.
So this prompt is when he sees me from Waitress, which is all about someone being really concerned about first impression. So what is a book which you fell in love with the second you saw the cover? And for me, this is The Binding by Bridget Collins. I actually have an ARC and you can see the shine. I'll include a picture here of the finished copy, which is equally as stunning. And this is a stunning book inside and out. It follows the concept of sort of binding books, and it has something to do with memories. I'm not going to say what, because this didn't go in the direction I expected it to, but it is an LGBT romance and it's phenomenal. But yeah, the cover really did sell me the second I saw it and was definitely an influence on me picking up this book.
But if you can somehow keep them thinking of me and make me more than an abandoned memory, that means we matter too. It means someone will see that you are there. No one deserves to be forgotten. No one deserves to fade away. No one should come and go and have no one know he was ever even here. No one deserves to disappear. To disappear. Disappear.
So this prompt is Disappear from Dear Evan Hansen and is all about remembering people who are often forgotten. So the prompt for this is hype an underrated backlist book which you don't think should be forgotten. And for this, I'm choosing White Rabbit Red Wolf by Tom Pollock. This is a YA thriller following a boy named Pete who is a maths prodigy and loves encoding and decrypting things, which I also have an interest in, so I really enjoyed reading this. And I can't even begin to explain what happens in this, but more people need to read it. It's quite a fast-paced kind of thriller, but it's not like scary detective story, but it's a big mystery and it gets really, really sort of captivating. So this definitely needs to be remembered and read more.
Big sturdy book, big wordy book, full of words I'll understand and write. There is where you'll see it too. Order what you want is right in front of you. What you want is clear. What you want right here. What you want is right in front of you. What you want is clear. What you want right here. What you want is right in front of you.
So the final prompt is What Do You Want from Legally Blonde, which is understandably all about getting what you want. And so I would just like to ask the question of what do you want to see more of in books? This can be anything from representation to plot lines to plot devices. Just what do you want to see more of? So for me, I have a couple things. The first is rivals to friends to lovers, or something of that description, like having all three. I just love. I love rivals to lovers. I love friends to lovers. When you have them all, it's just brilliant. The second for me would be bisexual representation, but seeing the people in a male-female relationship. This is something that's massively underrepresented, and people seem to forget that a lot of bisexual people do have long-term relationships with people of the opposite gender. So I would love to see more of that. So clear bisexual rep, but mixed gender relationships. And the third would be polyamory. We've had love triangles for years. Can we start resolving them without tension and angst and just everyone be happy? That would be great. So I'd love to see some more polyamory. If you have polyamory recs, please let me know. I've got one or two that I know of, but I need more. So those are all the core prompts of this tag, but I did want to throw in one bonus prompt for anyone who wants to do it if you're a musical theatre lover like me, which is to choose your favourite musical and then recommend a book based on it. I'm going to do this, but it's definitely going to be based off a musical I've already spoken about because, unsurprisingly, I've already mentioned all of my favourite musicals in this tag. So for the bonus prompt, I'm going to choose the massively underrated musical Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which is set in the UK and about a boy who wants to become a drag queen. And so for this, I'm going to recommend The Black Flamingo by Dean Atter, which also follows a boy in the UK who wants to get into drag. This also deals with a lot of other things that the musical doesn't. They have quite different storylines, but both brilliant in their own way and both centre drag quite a lot within the story. So that is it. Those are the prompts for musical theatre book tag. If you are doing this, please tag me on Twitter or something. I would love to see other people's responses to this and just other people doing it, or send it to any of your musical theatre friends who may want to give it a go themselves. If you've not been tagged, I am tagging a few people over on Twitter, then please feel free to do it anyway. If you want to do it and you love musical theatre, please consider yourself tagged. I just really want more musical theatre content on this platform because it's brilliant and we all love it so much. So as I said, if you want to do this tag and you love musical theatre, please consider yourself tagged, but I am tagging a whole group of wonderful people, but I won't be able to list them all because my memory is like a sieve, so they're all tagged down below. Please check them all out, they're all brilliant. There's Rue, there's Tammy, there's Jess, there's Natalie, there's so many of them. So please check them all out below. They're all tagged, and yeah, I cannot wait to see their versions of this video. But that's it for this video, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it if you know anyone who might be interested in doing the tag. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, and all my other socials are linked down in the description if you want to connect in any other way. But that is it, so thank you, bye, and I'll catch you in the next one.